Romans 12 tells us that we are to be a living sacrifice. I believe being Christ-like means that we are a living sacrifice. That is, we are living for God. We live to do His will and to do what He would have us to do in everyday circumstances, not just on Sundays. Being Christ-like to me means living what this word says, not just on Sundays, not just on Wednesdays, but daily.
To me, it means loving others and serving others, putting everyone in front of yourself and becoming a disciple or a missionary for the world to spread that message and extend grace even where it's hard. Just throwing away all those earthly judgments and worldly labels and loving no matter the circumstances.
To me, being Christ-like means to love. Loving everyone, whether it's your friends or your enemies, and showing that love through your words, your attitude, and your actions. It means to be humble and to know that you're not better than anybody else. We all struggle with the things of this world, and we need to lift each other up through those struggles. It means to reflect Christ in our everyday life.
In Ephesians 4:22 through 24, paraphrasing, it says, "Put off your old self which is corrupt by deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and put on the new self, created to be like God in righteousness and holiness." We have to remember why God sent Christ here. He was sent to be our example, and we should follow His example as much as possible. We'll never be perfect, and we'll never be like Him, but in everything that we say and do, we should try to be Christ-like.
To be Christ-like is to forgive and forget. If Christ didn't forgive us for our sins and for our trespasses against Him, who would we be and where would we go? I think that's the ultimate aspect of Christ. Usually it's the last thing on our mind today is to forgive somebody. We always want to hold a grudge against somebody, but to ultimately forgive and forget. I think that is the key to everything. Love and compassion all falls into place.
To me, becoming Christ-like can be narrowed down to just three things. First being surrender. We must be willing to give up anything and everything to follow God and do His work. No matter what that task is that He calls us to do, we have to be willing to do it. The second will be patience. God is always patient with us. No matter how many times we screw up in life, He's always there to pick us up, dust us off, just wrap us in His loving arms and give us another chance. And finally, I'd say love, which is the greatest of these. If we love as Christ does, then patience and surrender will come naturally.
To live a Christ-like life is not something that you do, it's something that is performed because you love God and you serve God and serving His Word, just as Jesus did when He walked this earth. And in 1 John chapter 2, it says, verse 5, it says, "But whosoever keepeth the Word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in Him." Then verse 6, it says, "He that saith he hath abided in Him ought himself also to walk, even as He walked." Our life must reflect as Jesus' life on this earth. My question, is your life a Christ-like life?
Being Christ-like, really should be the purpose and the passion and the pursuit of our lives as followers of Jesus. I heard a pastor put it once like that. It's like the game Simon Says. If you played Simon Says, when I played Simon Says, what was cool is that Simon not only told you what to do, but he showed you what to do. And as you look through the Gospels and as you read the Word, you see that Jesus not only just told us how to live a good life, but He showed us how to live the model and example life that He wants us to lead. Now we're constantly trying to catch up to Jesus and follow in His lead. But when you become Christ-like, you're not just hearing what He's saying, but you're actually putting it into action and following exactly how He said to do it. And Simon Says, if you didn't do it like Simon, and you just heard it and you're just like, yeah, I agree with that, Simon, that's a good action to do, you were out of the game. You didn't win that way. You had to actually follow what Simon says and do it at the same time. And so I know that none of us as followers of Jesus want to be out.